Okay, this is going to be a quick look at and flip through of my 6th grade curriculum for homeschooling. All of this curriculum I have used in the past and will continue to use with each additional child. So none of this is brand new and never been used. We have done it and it works. So in all of my videos, you're going to see these two Bible curriculums. Plants Grown Up is for your young men, young gentlemen, and Polished Cornerstones is for your young ladies at home. So this is a Bible curriculum, and it does go from kindergarten through 12th grade. Once you purchase this Bible curriculum and a Bible and a notebook for your child, you'll never need to purchase another Bible curriculum again, because it will go, both of them will go from kindergarten through 12th grade. Alright, and for the Polished Cornerstones, it's a very complete and thorough Bible curriculum for your children. Okay, the next thing we do in the area of Bible and character is we will read Wisdom and the Millers, Proverbs for Children. So it is a storybook that incorporates the book of Proverbs. Okay, the next thing we do in that vein would be we start the Pilgrim Progress series. There's a DVD on John Bunyan, the author of Pilgrim's Progress, and then we have Pilgrim's Progress CDs that we will listen to, and then the first Pilgrim's Progress book that I will have my child read. The Thinking Toolbox, 35 lessons that will build your reasoning skills. And a quick look at the table of contents here. So this is just a good logic and thinking skills book to read with your child. I like to read this with my child because I like to talk it over with them so that we can debate back and forth regarding what was in that lesson. So for math, we always do Life of Fred, and for 6th grade we would start out with Pre-Algebra 0 with physics. I like to stick with Life of Fred for all of my math with my children, because Life of Fred is it's a story-based approach to math, and what it does is it helps to apply the numbers and math facts and equations to real life, instead of your typical math workbooks that just have a bunch of numbers and the child has to memorize the math facts in order to get the answers correct, and they don't actually ever really apply those math numbers and math facts to real life. The other thing that we do is I try to always have some form of a money book that we read for each grade. 12 Things Jesus Said About Money. So we would read this together, because I want my children to learn that money is a blessing and is a tool that God gives us, and I want them to learn how God wants them to use that tool. So for English, we would do intermediate language lessons and spelling power. So the intermediate language lessons, in the 5th grade, we do lessons 1 through 150. And then in the 6th grade, we go ahead and do lessons 151 through 300. So there's 300 lessons in this book, and we split it up over 2 years, 5th grade and 6th grade. This is more of a Charlotte Mason approach to English grammar, language arts. It's more of a gentle learning style. And for the language arts, grammar, you want to keep that for gentle for as long as you possibly can. Because in the beginning, whether your 1st grader knows what a noun or a verb is not really important to their life. And a noun is a noun, whether they learn it in the 1st grade or in the 8th grade. A verb is a verb, whether they learn that in kindergarten or again in high school. It never changes. So for as long as possible, I like to keep language arts as gentle as I can. The next thing we would do is spelling power. I start spelling power in 3rd grade. It is a 1st through 8th grade curriculum. You'll never need to buy another spelling curriculum again. You just need this curriculum, the spelling power book, and your child would need a notebook. Again, it goes from 1st through 8th grade. Past the 8th grade, you really don't need to do spelling anymore. And depending on your child, we have used this past the 8th grade because we didn't finish with it. So we basically just work until we're done with this book. Okay. The next thing is science, and for the 6th grade, I like to work with astronomy. So we have the Rebecca Keller Apologia, Exploring Creation with Astronomy, and we also have an experiment book. So the Rebecca Keller book, we'll take a quick look at the table of contents. This is a really thin book, and puts it in more of a simpler form for the child, and it's not too overwhelming. So I would then move on to Exploring Creation with Astronomy. And we just notebook our way through all of our subjects. So I try to buy only non-consumable material so that I can always reuse it with each additional child. And we just do a lot of reading and notebooking for every subject. Next we have And God Created Science, Exploring Outer Space, 30 Amazing Projects that Explore the Wonders of God's Creation. So table of contents. So these are just experiments to go along with the Exploring Creation Astronomy. This was not part of Exploring Creation. I found this separate, and I enjoy the experiments that are in it, and we've used them before. So I just paired these three together. They're very simple experiments. Okay, so for history, I like to focus on Bible history in the early years for as much as I can, and avoid the textbooks for as long as I can. So for Bible history, we'll be reading Sojourner Truth, Clara Barton. These are all missionaries. Gladys Allward, Amy Carmichael, Nate Saint, George Mueller, John Adams, Adoniram Judson, and Saints Alive. Then we'll be watching DVDs, Amy Carmichael, William Tyndale, Augustine Story, Eric Liddell, Robert Germain, Gladys Allward, Corrie ten Boom, and Martin Luther. Then for my other history is we kind of continue with a gentle introduction into American history and geography. So for the first thing I would like to do is we usually do a study on all the 50 states and the 7 continents. So what we would do as well is we would watch these DVDs, Liberty Kids. And this is part of the American history, and then these are a few discs from the Mike Huckabee collection, Columbus and the Great Discovery, the Mayflower and the First Thanksgiving, and then One Nation Under God. We would also read What Would the Founding Fathers Think? A Young American's Guide to Understanding What Makes Our Nation Great and How We've Strayed. Then we do the 50 states. So what we do is we would notebook our way through this, and we would learn about each state briefly as we're notebooking, and then if we want additional in-depth information regarding a particular state that I would want them to learn more about, or that they want to learn more about, we would then source additional material either from the internet or YouTube or the library. So we will spend all year memorizing the states and the capitals and notebooking information about each individual state. Then we also would do the same thing for the continents. The 7 continents, we would just do the brief introduction here. We would notebook our way through this. This is a puzzle for the younger kids or the 6th grader, it's up to you. And then as we present each continent, we will go and source additional free material to complete our notebooking on each continent from either the internet, YouTube, or the library. This is just a puzzle over here. They actually do enjoy doing this puzzle. Okay, and then to go along with that is this 100 Facts Explorers book, and we would just read through this, and these are just explorers from different parts of the world. So there's the table of contents. And again, we just read and we notebook our way through it. I find that notebooking helps a child to learn better than your typical workbooks, because usually notebooking is what the child has taken an interest in, particularly regarding a certain topic, and is what they have decided to include in their own notebook for one reason or another. So I find that they will remember certain things that you wouldn't expect them to, because it's what piqued their interest, and then they took more initiative into logging that. So we use notebooks for every subject, for Bible, math, English, science, and history. I try to stick with non-consumable material as much as possible, and we notebook every subject. So I hope this was helpful. Have a good day.